meeting, and where are you calling from today? How long have you been sober?
Yeah, I'm here from the AA meeting, sober since November 1st, 2005, calling from New Orleans on business. I've been to this
New
meeting
Orleans.
before. Yeah.
Okay, that's glad you're here. Welcome aboard. And let's see. Oh, Sunita. No, that's Sanaya. Oh, what's that? I can't ever figure out. Hey, you're in Nashville, huh?
Yeah,
Nashville. Yeah, you are. Okay. How long are you sober?
I've been sober 1 year and 7
We'll
days.
just call it a year, 1 year. Then when you get 2 years, we call it 2 years. Nashville. Okay, here we go. Hey, Debbie. Hi, how are you? Where are you calling from, Debbie?
Oregon, and
That's
61 days sober.
I'm having tea.
Cheers.
Tea. Oregon just got rated the #1 football team in the country. That's what we play them. I was listening to a video audio of two jets coming in for landing, and they were heavy jets, Sean, and this Piper Cub got in the way, and the controller told him the big jet to veer off, and he said, da United, veer off. He's crossing your path, and he goes, okay, too close for rocket, switching the guns. And the controller goes, what? He said, just kidding. That was really funny. Kira,
that sounds like my buddy. That sounds like my buddy.
Kieran Ain, how are you? Where are you calling from? Kieran Long. And how long have you been sober?
Hi,
And
I'm from Virginia.
Yep.
And I've been sober for 1 year.
1 year. And what's your first name?
Kira.
Keira.
Keira. Yes.
Keira.
Yes.
Welcome aboard. Xavier. That needs a little Latin beat behind it. Xavier, where are you calling from? How long have you been sober?
I'm calling from Tennessee, also for a year.
You're in Tennessee?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you don't have to call me sir. Okay. Glad you're here. Alexander. Hey, Alexander, how are you? Where are you calling from? How long have you been sober?
Well, I'm calling from Chile, and I've been sober for about 3 days.
3 days. And where did you say you're calling from? We can hardly hear you.
Chile.
Where? Chile? Say Chile.
Yeah, Chile.
Oh, you have to turn your audio on. Well, that's interesting. I think you might be the first person we've had from Chile. Are you are you a Chilean?
Well, yeah, by nationality, but I'm of American descent.
No kidding. And what city are you in Chile?
Rancagua.
No kidding. Wow. And what are you in the same time zone that we are here?
If you're East time zone, yeah.
Yep. No, I'm Mountain Time. Okay. And you have AA in Chile?
We do. It's not quite so popular. There's no meetings in my city, so I started going to online meetings.
Okay, well, welcome aboard. Glad you're here. 3 days. This is the meeting for you. My recommendation is come for 5 days to this meeting, see how you like it, and we'll put you to work. Let's see here. Rochelle. Hey, Rochelle. Hi, how are you? Are you here for the AA meeting, and where are you calling from today? How long are you sober?
Sydney, Australia, 21 days.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to set it. You guys can, excuse me. There it is. Okay. You guys, you can change your names to, you have to mute her, Jesse. You can change your names And you put in your first name, last initial, and how long you've been sober. Where are you calling from? First name, last initial, where, and how long you've been sober, where are you calling from? We just have to keep our eyes on this one, Sean, because of the bombers have a tendency to mess with that function. Hey, Zach, hi, how are you? Where are you calling from today, and how long have you been sober?
Hey, Jann, good to see you again. Calling from California, and I am just over the 7th month mark, though I kind of had a rung, so I'm kind of internally debating if I lost my sobriety time or not.
What
So,
happened?
my drug of choice is marijuana, and ended up basically had a string flare up of usage that lasted, though I didn't end up affected by it, I guess, is how I
What are
describe
you
it.
talking about? What is a flare up of marijuana use? That is curious.
As in, smoking marijuana.
You were smoking pot?
Yeah.
No, we don't consider that a slip. I mean, like if Cheech and Chong can smoke pot and fall over sideways in their 52 Mercury, you can do it. No, I'm joking. That's a slip.
All right.
I mean, if you're out buying a bag of weed, you're rolling doobies, you're smoking them, and you're laughing at cartoons, generally speaking, that's, a relapse. Leslie, you could change your name, but I'll change it for you. How long are you sober now, Leslie? You're in New York State, huh?
New York State, and 1 month today.
A month today. Good for
Yep.
you. Julie, oh my God. Julie, hi, how are you? So good to see you.
Hi.
I thought maybe we lost you forever.
No, it's good to be back.
So you didn't get mad at us, at me?
Oh no, I just been not
Because
feeling
a few
right.
people got mad at me.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they thought I was like, I don't know, what did they think I was? I have no idea. Okay. How's your sister doing? Is she still sober?
As
Or
far as
no?
I know,
Okay.
yeah,
You haven't talked to her
yeah.
in a while?
Not today,
Okay.
but she's getting through her detox period.
Oh, is she detoxing at home home, or is she in a treatment center, or what?
She's detoxing at home.
Should I call her and invite her back to the meeting?
Sure, I think that would be great.
Yeah, okay, I will. And how are you feeling? I know you were sick. What did you have? The flu or a cold or what?
I'm just dealing with anemia,
Hmm.
so it's just
Really? Did you
kind of
go and see
affecting
the
me.
doctor for it? Did they give you like a regimen of food or vitamins? Or
Um, no, I'm just kind of piecing it together myself.
are you? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
when
just
I
because
had
I'm in California.
what? And Californians are like special in the whole new age food area. It's like we got this down. We have vegetables growing all around us, kind of thing.
No, it's just my doctors are in Colorado.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you could always get one there. But when I had a stroke and I was in rehab, they were like, "You're anemic," and I'm like, "I'm anemic." And like, "Yup." And then they had me start to see. I would see through my primary care. I started. Oh gosh, for about 2 weeks, I started seeing a nutritionist. I think twice a week for about 2 or 3 weeks, and they prescribed this whole litany of things for me to eat and take. Just
Oh,
saying,
okay.
yeah, they
Yeah,
have the doctors can do that, and a lot of doctors will have a nutritionist connected to them. Um,
right.
and then they come to your house.
Oh,
Hello.
that would be great.
Yeah, and yeah, yeah, okay. So you should think about that. I speak from what I know. I've had the experience. So glad to have you. I'm glad to hear.
Thanks, Jan.
Okay, take it easy. Ah, Preston. The hell is he? Preston, I'm gonna make you a co-host. Here we go. Lori. Hey, Lori. Hi, how are you? Where are you calling from and how long you been sober?
Hi, Lori, alcoholic. I'm calling from Alberta and 16 years.
Alberta, Canada. Sometimes I'm starting to finally learn how to pronounce the name.
Yes, Canada.
Yeah, I know, because for the longest time I was pronouncing it Canada. You know, like when our country invaded Grenada,
Yeah.
and if you look at Canada, Grenada, they look really the same. And then of course, your country invaded our country in 1812 and burned the White House.
Before my time.
Well, but you're still responsible. That's why we don't like Germans coming into this meeting. Oh, is that your cat behind you there? Look at this. Preston has this cat in the meeting.
Yeah, he's never up there. It's weird. He moved spots. He looks like the couch.
And what's your cat's name?
Pumbaa, like from the Lion King. Look at him looking.
Pumbaa. Oh yeah. Can you sing that song? There's your cat's name. Anyways, hey, hi, how are you? Glad you're here. Mish. I don't suppose you have a sister named Mash, do you?
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Where are you calling from and how long have you been sober?
New Jersey, 562 days.
New Jersey. Wow. That's near New York, but you don't. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here, 100%. H9MM. Hi. We want to come on in and unmute. Talk to me, please.
Hi, my name is Juan. 3 weeks sober, and I'm calling from California.
Did you say your name is Juan? Juan? All right.
That is correct.
Glad you're here, man. Welcome aboard. Yep. Hey, Matt. Matt the cat. We'll make Matt the co-host. Today we were going to kick everybody out and let Cassie be everything. She could be host, co-host, chair, and on guns, L. Okay, just watch this one. Jesse. Hey, L, how are you? Where are you calling from and how long you been sober?
Hi, I'm Elle. I'm calling from Florida and I'm only sober today right now.
Oh, is that right? And okay, good. And your name is L as in EL or just L?
Just Elle or Lisa, whichever.
Okay, we'll call you L.
Okay.
Glad you're here. Have you been to AA before?
Yeah, I stayed sober for over 18 months in 2015 and 16. And
Yeah.
I was pretty much like I didn't get a sponsor and I didn't do any service, but I stayed sober for quite a few years after that, and then it gradually just got worse since like 2000.
So what happened? What made you pick up a drink? Why did you relapse?
Well, I didn't work the steps, and I wasn't aware that I needed to be going to a lot of like women's only meetings, and I had a male sponsor, and it didn't really work out, and so I'm back in the program now.
Yeah, so here's the deal. If you come here for 5 days, if you want to. If you end up liking this meeting, come for 5 days and then we will put you to work. You are in an AA class. This is AA 101. This is it's called Newcomers Slippers Step Workshop. And that's just what we do here. It's a new kind of AA is all these messages are going on here. I would prefer not to speak. Oh, why the hell's that? Everybody participates here in this meeting. Richard, 72 days in Chicago. Hey, Richard, how are you? How are you doing, man? And you're in Chicago, 72 days. Anyways, glad to see you here.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. Just
Yeah,
say hi.
Hi.
All right. Glad you're here. Hi. Ralph S. Hey, Ralph, how are you? Where are you calling from? And how long have you been sober? Right now, we're clearing the room of Zoom bombers and trying to figure out everybody is, because this is Newcomers Slipper Step Workshop. Everybody here is new. So we're just trying to get to know you, see if we can help you out. Hi, Ralph.
Hi, Ralph S. from Southern California, and today is 82nd day.
82nd. All right, 82 days, just like the airborne. Glad you're here. Jessica. Hi, Jessica. How are you? Where are you calling from, and how long have you been sober? Maybe her audio is not working. Oh, it doesn't hurt. You can text me. Hey, Rebecca. Hi. 38 days. Okay, good. Glad you're here. Sam, 19 days. Great. Juan, Mish. I love that name. Julie. Who the hell is this? And this. Okay, let's see. There's Jeff. He's Alden. Hey, Alden, how are you? Where are you calling from today? And how long have you been sober? Alden D.
Yes, I'm Alden. I'm calling from Raleigh, North Carolina, sober for 12 years.
12 years. Okay. Welcome to Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. What brings you to Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop? Did you get in trouble?
No, nothing like that. I just wanted to mix it up. I usually go to different meetings, just keep it fresh, a newcomer's perspective.
Well, you're in the zone now. You're in Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. Welcome aboard. Let's see, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Jessica, how are you? And Jessica's audio doesn't work. Jessica, if you want to, you can text me or text Jessie. And how long you've been sober? Or maybe she disappeared. People are dropping off like crazy. All right, if you would put up everything to read, or we'll let you want to put everything up to read, Jesse and Matt. You want to read today? How's that sound?
Sure.
Okay, Jesse, you want to put everything? Do you know what we put up to read, Jesse? Are you okay? He looks. Apparently, he does. How's it going over there, Cassie? Are you hanging in there? You're the big boss today, right?
Yeah, I was ready to get some Zoom bombers out, but everyone's good here.
No, everybody's behaving today. They'll come in
great,
later.
Yeah. I know, I was ready. I had my hand on the trigger.
We'll start removing the whole meeting. I don't know what I did, but what, you removed everybody? Yeah.
Oops.
Oops. All right. Matt is going to explain how this meeting works. Over to you, Matt.
Okay. Hi, Matt Alcoholic. Welcome to Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. If you're new to AA or coming back, this meeting is for you. This group is exactly what the name says, a workshop. We read 5 AA books, work the steps, sponsor you, give writing and reading assignments. We'll teach you an AA program. We move right along here and people get well here. Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop is a step workshop. Unlike most AA meetings, it's not a speaker's meeting nor a discussion meeting. It's more like an AA class, AA 101. You want to have the attitude of learning, do the assigned reading and writing on the steps. We'll take you through the steps and AA books in short order. So if you're looking for guidance and direction in an AA program, this meeting is for you. Security for Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. We use the waiting room. When you come in, we ask your first name, last initial, country or city, and how long you've been sober. We have chat turned off. You can chat with the host or the co-host. Unmute is turned off. Cameras and pictures are turned off at the beginning of each meeting, and we turn them on later. We don't exchange phone numbers. You can get the number of the host for text and support. Here is our email for meeting confirmation, stepworkshop1@gmail.com. This is good for school, class, work, probation, court orders, etc. And there's a link to the meeting in chat. We do all the above for safety reasons, since everyone is new here and we want to protect you. Zoom bombers try to get in, and the above eliminates them. You'll notice this is a step workshop and not a speakers or discussion meeting. It's like a class, AA 101, AA University. It's a very unique meeting since we use the same principles AA used between 1932 and 1939. Everybody works in the group and moves through the 12 steps to live our lives free from alcohol and learn a new way of living. Glad you could make it. Announcements. AA in this meeting is supported by our own contributions to Seventh Traditions. You can make donations to @Jann-Scott in Venmo. Contributions go to pay for Zoom, and we make monthly donations to Boulder 1 AA and Boulder County AA. We spend about $250 a month. This group meets daily with the following formats. Monday is step meeting, 12 and 12, me Monday. Tuesday's Big Book, T-shirt Tuesday, AA Inspires Preferred. Wednesday, as Bill sees it, Sunglass Wednesday. Thursday's Beginners, steps 1, 2, or 3, or any beginner-related topic, and it's Dog Thursday. Friday's Open, the chair picks the topic, and it's Cat Friday. Saturday, Living Sober, Virtual Background Day. And Sunday, Daily Reflections, Fashion Sunday. Please join me in the Serenity Prayer. It goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. AA Preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not aligned with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And there's a link to the newcomers packet in chat. With that, back to you, Jann, in the studio.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Matt in the Adirondacks, which is also where Leslie is, and Cassie and Sean, and they're in the great North Woods of America. I, of course, am in Colorado, the red state. That's what Colorado means in Spanish, right? Red. But Colorado is actually a blue state politically. That has nothing to do with anything. Pay no attention to me. Hey, I'm Jann, alcoholic. Welcome to a Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. You are new to this meeting. You're in a class. You're in AA 101, AA University, and today we're going to work on the sixth step. And let's see. And I think Rebecca, we're going to do your sixth step with you, isn't that right? Today. You're shaking your head no. Yeah, and
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's right. So a couple of other things for everybody. This meeting started 4.5 years ago during the pandemic. And we noticed when we started it, everybody that was coming here was either new or coming back. And in 4.5 years, we've had over 20,000 people come to this meeting. 20,000. We get 100 new people every week. Like today, I think we probably have 5, 6, or 7 people in here. We're up to 30, and about 6 people dropped out already. And so we've had 1,000 people go through our program with us, which is basic 12-step program. We take you through the AA program, all 12-step process in about a month and a half. 1,000 people have done that with us and stayed sober. I don't know whatever happened to the rest of the other half. We base this meeting on the first meetings of AA in the 1930s, between 1932, when Prohibition ended and AA started, America got back to drinking, and 1939, when AA wrote this textbook, Alcoholics Anonymous. They noticed that 80 to 100% of the original members all stayed sober for the rest of their life. But the last AA census shows that only 10% of the people who come to AA stay sober. Why is that? because the first 100 members work the 12-step process the way that we do it right here in a group. Everybody in this group works the 12 steps together. We support each other here. If you go to an AA meeting today, as one person was pointing out, they're generally probably talking about their cat. You'll hear it. You'll go to a meeting and the topic will be, well, how's your day going? And then someone will raise their hand and they'll say, well, my cat got sick, da 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 da. I'm like, what? No, that you save for your therapist, or you go to Cats Anonymous, not to be confused with Catatonics Anonymous, but those people have a hard time getting up for meetings. I don't think anybody's actually ever made it to a Catatonics Anonymous. So we have that's why we've devoted up. There's my cat right there. Say hi, kitty. Okay, so we devote Fridays to people and their cat problems. Thursday is Dog Thursday. People bring their dogs. The rest of the time, it's AA all the way, 100%. Hardcore. You're serious. You're hardcore? Well, okay, maybe not. So that's the deal. Now, if you like this meeting, you think you might like it, come here every day for 5 days. We will put you to work. And here's what happens. Somebody was concerned about a sponsor. We will sponsor you. You're concerned about having a male sponsor? Don't worry about it. There's plenty of women in here. It's more of a group type of thing. We'll sponsor you. We give reading assignments. We give writing assignments. We'll take you through the entire 12-step program in about a month and a half. People get well here. Look at me. I've done this 46 years. Couldn't be better. Actually, everybody in this room is doing pretty well. So that's kind of it on that. So today we're working on the 6th step. And the 6th step says, we did the 5th step yesterday, and we did the 4th step before that, and the 3rd step. So today we're going to talk about the 6th step. We actually have one person who's on the 6th step, but all of you can be on the 6th step today, and we can all take it together. So we're doing steps 6 and 7. So 6 says we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. And step 7 on page 59 in the big book, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. So they're basically the same step. We were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. And then 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. Now, what are the defects of character? Well, you found those in your 4th step, in the part of the 4th step where it says what it affects in me. So we're writing out this 4th step, and it goes on to talk about, we write down, I'm resentful at who the person is or the institution, what the cause is, like I'm mad at the telephone company because they shut off my phone. And what does this affect? Well, my ability to communicate in personal relationships. So these things called defects of character, I like to think of them as defective thinking, or they are also our go-to positions and how now listen carefully to what I'm saying here. This is really important. These 2 steps are really talking about the way in which we operate in the world. It's how we hold everything, how we it's every position that we have, every defense mechanism, every fallback position. So, I'll say to you, hey, Bob, how's your day going? And Bob goes, hey, fuck you, Jen, what do you care? So that's Bob's fallback position. fuck you. Okay. Or you could be the kind of person where no matter what anybody says, where you are inside your head, you're looking for a fight. Okay. We had some people that just left this meeting. That was once they got through steps 6, 7, 8, and 9, and they got into 12, and were starting to carry the message to others and help others. There, what I like to call fuck you was working overtime, which is I don't have to do this. I'm fine. That's a great one. You know, how are you? Fine. You know, read. I'm really pissed off and I have no idea what's wrong with me. Defects of character, defective thinking, personality flaws. So what happens to us is we sober up, we get up through steps 4 and 5, where we admit to God, to ourselves, another person, is the exact nature of our wrongs. The nature of this word nature and defects of character or defective thinking, and shortcomings, they're all interlinked. So what Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob and Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, got to in this 12-step program was major personality flaws in the alcoholic. And it is our charge now in 6 and 7 to recognize, what is it? What are my they're called operating principles. What are my basic operating principles? You know, I will get mine before you get yours. You know, I don't really, you know, what is it? What's her name wrote it right on the back of her trench coat, climbing the airport when the airplane, when they were talking about removing children from cages on the border. And her back of her shirt, she wrote her basic operating principle right in her trench coat for the whole world to see. I don't really care. You know, and so when we're doing the 6th step, you're going to start looking at what are some of your defective go-to operating principles. Okay, the defective ones, you know, and so what we do is we'll jump on them, okay, rather than address them. Okay, we'll jump on them and we'll say, okay, here's one. So we had one person that was like, I'm not coming to this meeting because I don't like social media. I'm like, really? How long did it take you to figure that out? Oh, about a year. Okay. You don't like social media? All right. So this is an anonymous meeting. It may be recorded, but nobody's going to even know that we're here. So, well, what don't you like about social media? I don't know. I just don't like it. Well, okay. So that means you don't like Zoom? No, I don't. I don't like going to Zoom meetings either. Okay. And I don't like YouTube. I don't like Facebook. I don't like social media. And why would that be? I just don't like it. Okay, well, that's an operating principle. But what it did to that person is it took her right out of Alcoholics Anonymous. Here's another operating principle. I've been on probation for a year. And now I'm off probation. They took my ankle bracelet off. They took my, I don't have to breathe into a breathalyzer 3 times. I don't have to go and see the probation officer. I went to court and the judge released me. And not only that, I am really pissed off about these cops who arrested me. Well, were you DUI? Yeah. Well, and then you got hurt, didn't you? Yeah, I fell down and I got hurt. So wasn't that kind of, no, it wasn't my fault. Okay. And not only that, I don't like cops and I don't like going to jail and I don't like being on probation and I don't like the judge. And not only that, fuck you, I don't like social media and I'm not coming to this meeting anymore. And then that person will then move right on into, you know what, AA sucks, fuck you. And I did these steps because, but yeah, I don't believe in them. And I'm going to the bar. And that's just how it happens. So these are operating principles. You got to watch it. You got to watch. We talked a little bit about it yesterday when I was talking about my fifth step in my character defects. You know, I talked about how I had done, you know, I was sober and everything, and I started doing some sales training classes and that sort of thing. And some of these intense sales training classes I did basically teaches you how to manipulate people, how to lie, and how to keep, you know, people that are buying from you, how to keep the lie. And when I've been watching this person who's running for president and all the high-powered businessmen in America, they all love him. And I thought, all of these guys are a bunch of liars. They're all trained, you know, business people who lie through their teeth. And that's why they like this so much. And I had to spend years undoing, you know, the lies that I tell myself. So that's what alcoholics do. We lie to ourselves. Is everybody doing okay with this? How do you like this? I want to call on you, Cassidy. What do you think? What do you think about what I just said? 6 and 7. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. I honestly am one that really believes that the 6th and 7th step are so important, and the fact there's only 2 paragraphs in the big book on it is like crazy to me. But it really is so important to look at those defects that you have so you can properly do a 10th step every day for the rest of your life. That's what keeps me sober.
That's perfect. As I talked to this one person, I said, well, you can now do a 10th step. I'm not doing a 10th step. Of course not. Here we go. We're going to read this. Everybody turn to page 76. Okay, and Cassie just pointed out it's only 2 paragraphs, but there is quite a bit about this, and I just talked through all of it. So you can save this recording and listen to it again, because I basically just gave you the fine points of resolving defective thinking and the lies that we tell ourselves. And I happen to know a lot about this. I was trained in this particular process of undoing the lies and the mind machinery that keeps us lying. 76, if we can answer to our satisfaction, we then look at step 6. We've emphasized willingness as being indispensable. Are we now ready to God remove from us all the things which we have admitted objectionable? Can you now take all of them, each and every one? So here they frame this in a job for God. Apparently only God can do this. But Carl Jung, the famed psychiatrist, got together with Bill, and they realized there was a lot more to this. So we then have this spiritual dynamic, religious dynamic, God dynamic that we add to this. A lot of times people go to therapy, right, to work on step 6 and 7. Here they frame it with God. You know, now, is God going to like remove this? Like, okay, rise and be healed, Lazarus, carry your mat. You know, you are healed. I don't think so. Certainly wasn't the case for me. For me, it was a long, painful, dubious process. When ready, we say something like this: my Creator, I am now willing that you should have all of me, good and the bad. I pray that you now remove from me every single defective character which stands in the way of my usefulness to you and my fellows. So Bill was on his evangelical jag here, which was basically the only right way to live life here on earth is to do God's will. And what is God's will? Well, we don't know. So we pray to God and we ask God, what is your will for me? And he never answers. Or you could go into the Bible, and the Bible will tell you, go forth and preach the good news about Christ. But that's not what AA is about. But they kind of allude to it. So for our purposes here, God's will is pretty simple. This is coming from me. God's will is don't drink, stay sober, come to this meeting, work the 12 steps. So if you ever anybody's wondering, I don't know what God's will is, because you go to AA meetings and people are wandering around, I don't know what God's will is. And then their sponsor will say, well, pray, and he'll tell you, well, maybe not. I mean, maybe you will, I don't know. God's will for our purposes in Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop on Zoom is to stay sober, not drink, come to this meeting, do this 12-step process. Now, I did say earlier in some of our other recent meetings that I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And I did get some messages from the radio, which I followed through on, which was to become a talk radio host and a TV host. I think that's probably God's will for me. Doing this meeting, I'm pretty sure that's God's will. I mean, talk about somebody who just sort of, said, to you, well, will God answer? What am I supposed to do with my life? Maybe yes, maybe not. Most of us aren't willing to listen to it anyways. I certainly wasn't. What should I do, Lord? I want you to chair more AA meetings and help people. No. I already go to AA meetings. I'd really like to get a new Corvette. You think that's in the is that in the cards? I don't think so, Jann. No, he doesn't. He doesn't speak to me with a booming voice through the clouds. That would be shocking. So anyways, that's step 6 and 7. And we really just kind of talked about it a great length. I know I'm kind of joking around here, but if we don't laugh about this somewhat, it will drive you crazy. I will tell you that my life has lightened up quite a bit, and I have had a very successful life. I did go through all the trials and tribulations that everybody knows about, that we all go through. I did, go into and through business, and do all the things, made the mistakes, and have the successes that we're all supposed to have. It all worked itself out in the end, as long as I didn't pick up a drink and kept coming to meetings and willing to do this 12-step process. This process that we're talking about, this is really deep work. You go see a therapist, a good one, and they will tell you how incredibly deep this is. So step 6 and 7, about which I've just been talking, what some of, well, let's start with Sean. What's some of your experience? What did you get out of what I said?
Well, what I got out of 6 and 7 is my humility. I didn't have any humility, and just like you said, I was up for an argument. I wanted to prove everybody wrong to make myself feel good. And the root of that was alcohol. It just turned me into a different person. And step 6 and 7 makes you face that person and
So that
look
was
them in
your
the face.
that was your basic operating principle.
Yeah,
Your go-to, your fall back on. How about you, Preston?
Preston alcoholic. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. I'm still trying to figure some of them
Give us
out.
one. Give us one.
Self-esteem and pride, which is kind of weird, but they're both kind of interconnected with me. How I feel, how I feel about myself.
What is your what's your number one defect that gets right in your way?
That one, yeah, just low opinion, I guess, of myself, because I feel like for my 5th step with you, that was like the number one thing on the column 3. When it asked what it affects in me, it was always that.
And so, do you have something that you do when you go into what's called going into defect? When you start thinking, when you start acting defectively, what is it that you do?
Well, like my actions, what that used to look like was I would feel lonely and I'd get drunk and I'd go like use people. You know what I mean? That's what
Now, do you do that now?
No. I can still get into that mindset if I'm,
okay.
If I'm not careful, but that's been my bad character deep.
Perfect. So what we're talking about is what is your go-to defect when you go into defect, when you fall, right off the horse? How about you? Go to Matt.
What would you say when you fall right off the horse?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, it was really just, and it was really amplified by the alcohol. I mean, selfishness or dishonesty. I mean, the alcohol was always looming out there, so your whole day was structured around alcohol and how you can either sneak it or stop on the way home. I mean, it was just, and it was never ending. And then not being it took the place of other things like going to kids stuff or something. It was always looming there. So for this was a step sort of like not washing it clean, but just taking a
Now, a
clean.
lot of times our defective thinking and defective behavior will happen now sober. We just go, I mean, I just told you a whole bunch of things about myself, how I can go right into defect. How about you, Cassie? Do you have any of that, or are you cured?
No, I'm not cured. Progress,
Okay.
not perfection.
Right.
But I do think that with every character defect, there's the opposite of that. So that's what I try to do. Like when that anger pops up in me to go, or a lot with me, especially with my job, I might get nervous or anxious. So I try to replace that with courage instead of having to be nervous and anxious. So I try to replace it with the opposite of that defect.
Oh, good. Does it work?
At times it does.
All right.
I'm a very anxious person, so that's one thing I'm really working on.
Oh yeah, there you go. Perfect. Okay. So you are meeting these defects of character, defective behavior head on. You're trying to go through that's it. That's what we're doing here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, how about you, Rebecca? We just did your 6. Do you have any defective operating principles that you go to?
Yeah, I actually had one today.
All right.
Interesting enough. I don't know if you want to hear it.
Go ahead.
So I spoke to my sister last night, and my nephew's a therapist, a psychotherapist, and my sister was telling me how she took her puppy over to a session that my nephew was having. That's her son, and brought the puppy to meet the patient's puppy. And I said to her, do you think that's appropriate? Mommy going to 33-year-old's therapy session when he's the therapist. And she kind of, so that was the first time that I actually approached something in a very logical kind of just not combative tone. But I saw my defect come up when I then called my mother later and told her, do you think that? So I caught myself. I was like,
yeah, they always come up with mom.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, good. Excellent. Good job. How about you, Jeff? Defects of character, defective thinking, defective operating principles.
Yes. Jeff, alcoholic, absolutely. Judgmental, and I have to be right. I want to be right. And the reason I'm judgmental and the reason I want to be right is I don't know who I am or what I'm doing. So I make sure I'm as successful as I can be in every way because I don't know what I'm doing.
The other thing, this is really important. So being right is the mind, the primary job of the mind is the protection of the self and the body. So our mind is up there all day long, saying we're walking down the street, stay on the sidewalk, don't watch out for that car, don't walk in front of that car. Right. Or you're walking on a dark alley and you see gangsters over on the right, it tells you not to go over there. Your mind is there to protect you. With defective and the mind has to be right. It needs to make correct suggestions to the body and the self. So in order to preserve us so we don't die, we don't get ourselves killed. And so in the defective mind, if it sees anything as a threat, the mind will kick in defectively and start to make decisions. you know, and they'll start to argue with everybody. It'll be like, nope, I'm not doing that. I feel threatened. We're not going there. Nope, I'm threatened at that AA meeting. I'm definitely not going there. I feel threatened by you. I'm not doing that. And I'm definitely not doing the 10th step because that threatens me. So our mind is defective. And part of what we're doing in the 6th and 7th step is the recognition of it. The rest of the damn program is to rewire the brain. You like it?
Oh, very much so. I heard something yesterday I've never heard about. Let love morph into the spirituality of the higher power. And I think if anybody is concerned about what is this thing with spiritual, I never heard that in my time. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, good job. Over to Richard. How about you, Richard? Some of your defective operating principles, step 6 and 7.
Oh, wow. I would have to say, being judgmental and also overthinking everything. I think that's a big problem that I have with overthinking everything.
One of the problems that happens when early recovery, when we recover from alcohol, the alcohol is such a stimulant and it really raises holy hell with our brain chemistry in our mind, and it'll just take off all by itself. You know, we get out of now. There's a way to resolve that, and I have resolved it in my own brain. So I may wake. This morning I woke up. I was laughing and I was having a pretty good time. I felt really good. Sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and my all of my thoughts will be running crazy. I'm like, oh God, what is going on inside that brain of mine? And I may have to stop and have some prayer and or meditation time right then. That's why we have that book, the Daily Reflections. Who reads that book every day? Raise your hand. There you go. Does it quiet your mind down a little bit? I think that would be my suggestion to you, Richard. I hear you loud and clear. Over to Sunita. All right, how about you? Operating principles. There you are. Defects of character and things.
My defect of character is I want all the control. Very controlling. And another one would be my pride.
Well, you know, I think the thing too is in control, what we find out is just what I was just talking about. You know, our mind will tell us we have to be in control because there may be a threat. So our mind is trying to protect us. It's the function, it's the job of the mind, you know. And part of our 12-step process is to rewire the brain so we can let go a little bit. But it's so hard to let go when we're, you know, if our big brain is telling us, look out, there's danger ahead. Where the hell are we here? Hey, Julie, how about you? Defects of character.
Yes, hi, Julie, alcoholic. I think one big one for me is needing people to like me. So wanting people to see me in a certain way.
Really? Is that defect? I guess, is that defective? I guess, is it? How is it defect? How is that defective? What is that? What is that?
Well, I feel like, you know, being I think that, you know, like the actor who is overly gracious, but it's still a form of manipulation.
Wow. Okay, good. No, excellent, excellent. I like it. Perfect. Lori, over to you. Your 6th and 7th step. Defective thinking, defective operating principles.
Big one on me is I'm impatient, and I tend to get a little rude when I get impatient.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Perfect. Way to go. let's see, who else? Oh, Debbie, you've been through the steps. How about you?
Hi, Debbie, alcoholic. Um, I feel like maybe the biggest one for me, and I've actually gotten better at, is wanting to be in control all the time. But I still
Yeah,
have to pray about it and say, you know, I just have to let this go and give it to you, Lord, because I'm gonna run with it. And I
because
know
if I'm in control, they can't hurt me.
yeah,
If I'm in control, nobody can get to me, and it'll be safer.
yeah.
And sometimes, and sometimes we have to be in control. You know, I mean, take a combat veteran. Better be in control of everything and try to stay alive, or
Yeah.
people that grow up in dangerous families. They have to be very careful that the monster doesn't come in, to wherever I am, or anything else. Work in a big city, downtown, leaving your job at midnight and walking to a parking garage that's 2 blocks away, and it's a dangerous walk. If you do that long enough, that kind of thinking pervades the entire mind, and suddenly we're always operating that way. Who the hell else is over here? Oh, so let's go to Rachel. So we're going to do your 5th step right after this meeting, huh? So I'll leave you alone until we get there. How's that sound? Okay. Okay, so hey Sam, how about you?
Hey Jan, I'm doing well. Sam, alcoholic from Virginia. So one of my major character defects is I always have to be right. I need to be the source of information. I have to be the smartest guy in the room, and it comes off as very abrasive at times. Another one is I hate showing weakness, so it's very difficult for me to ask for help, which has led to situations of obvious alcohol abuse.
Well, here's
you
the
know,
thing. It's right back to what we were saying earlier, Jeff and I were talking about.
Mhm.
That is your mind trying to protect you. The mind has, seen threats, and it's at work overtime. They call that hypervigilance in adult children. Always being vigilant, always being on point. You know, who's around the corner? Who's going to kill me? What's there? We need to make a decision now. We need to stop this threat. You better shut up. Stop talking to me like that. This person's a threat, and then part of what we're doing here is resolving some of that. Hey, Mish, how about you? 6-step operating defects. Still with us? Aren't you, Mish is new to this meeting. Did he fall asleep? Okay. How about Elle in Fort Worth? Only one day. How are you doing there, Elle? How are you feeling? How do you like today's meeting? Kind of different, huh?
Hi, yeah, it's good. It's a really good way to go through studying the texts.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Come every day for 5 days and see how you like it, and we'll put you to work, okay?
Okay.
That's
Thank
all you
you.
have to do. Yeah, just show up here. All right. Glad you're here. Jessica, how about you? She can't talk. Her audio doesn't work. Juan in California, 3 weeks sober. So how about you, Juan? How'd you like today's meeting, and anything on your own operating defects, operating principles?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, one of my character defects is I'm a real big procrastinator. I'll start getting sober tomorrow. No, you know what? I'll wait till the next day. I'll wait. I'll wait till next week. I'll start it on a good Monday. I'm just a big procrastinator. It carries over in everything.
That's perfect. Same to you. Come to this meeting for 5 days and we'll put you to work, but I like it. We can resolve that right here. Alexander in Chile, how are you doing 3 days sober? How are you liking today's meeting?
Hey, Alexander, alcoholic. I'm
You have to
liking,
speak up because your audio is very soft.
sorry, I'm liking the meeting. It's really good. Better than most AA meetings I've been to. That's for sure.
It is. This is the best AA meeting in the world. So just come here for 5 days, see how you like it, and we will put you to work. Glad you're here. Did I talk to Lori in Canada? I did. Okay. Hey, Preston, who did I not talk to?
Oh man, I think that
Got
Leslie and Ralph.
Oh, Leslie. I didn't talk to Leslie. Where is she? Oh, Leslie, you're hiding again. That's why. I just see your room. How about you, Leslie? You're operating defective principles.
That would be self-pity combined with a fragile ego. And yeah, those are the two biggies.
Well, but how about what's the defect that you operate from? So something tells you your brain
Something
tells
tells
you
me I'm
act
not
on
being
it.
treated right. So I get pissed
Say it
off.
again. We were talking over each other. So listen to me. Your brain tells you something and you then react to it. What is it?
That I'm not being treated right, that I'm being hurt, disrespected, and then I'm a victim and I feel sorry
That's
for
it. No, that's
myself.
it right there. You are not treating me right. Therefore, whatever. So that's the part that we have to dismantle. We actually, what we can do is create new rules for ourselves, which the new rule is I'm always treated right. People love me. That's what Stuart Smalley did on Saturday Night Live. He would look at the mirror and he'd go, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people love me. And then he'd break down and start crying and say, I'm going to become a bag lady, and I'll be poor and destitute. That's what alcoholics do, right, Rebecca? We are fucking loony. Okay. So Cassie, are you having a good time here today, or has this been stressful? Because we don't want to see you stressed out.
Well, just thinking that I had to be host in the beginning
No,
made
that
me a
was
little
kind of
nerve-wracking.
that was sort of a joke.
I know,
What?
I
You were
gotta
joking with me? No, I mean it was like,
like
okay.
I gotta be host.
Oh,
But no,
yeah.
it's been great.
Yeah.
I
It
love
goes
the 6
pretty.
and
It
7
goes
step.
easy, right? Does this go pretty easy?
Yeah, I really like
Oh.
how we've been doing steps every day.
That's what we've decided since we started recording these. We're going through a step every day. We're going to get all the way through 12, and once I figured out how to record these, because you record the audio, and with Zoom, you have to send it through another process so that you can put the audio up on YouTube. Whereas if we could put this straight on Twitter or straight on Facebook, we'll go there, but not on YouTube, which is probably the best place. So this guy works for me, Aaron. So I just gave all this stuff to him. I said, here, Aaron. So that's who's putting all this stuff up, and then I go in and add the text and everything. But how do you guys like that? Incidentally, how do you like that our YouTube podcasts? Raise your hand if you like it, if you think it's really great. Raise your hand, goddamn it, Jesse. He's trying to figure out how to raise his. I didn't call on Ralph. Hey, Ralph, where are you at? Okay. All right, good. That's good. You don't like this, Jesse? What the hell's the matter with you? You don't like our you don't like our
I'm trying to find the hand raise, and I'm trying to find Ralph, man.
Oh no, okay, don't worry about Ralph. What's your name? We'll worry about Cassie will. So talk to me, Jesse. How your defects of character? I know you're not that far in the steps yet, but do you
Yeah.
see any defective operating principles that you have?
Oh, absolutely. Overthinking for sure, top of the list. That leads to overthinking. It'll lead to fear and anxiety, or it'll lead to being overly judgmental, or reading into things too deep. And
Well, you only have let's see, you only have a few days sober. I'll get to you there, one. Good. So when you're 27 days, you're still withdrawing from alcohol and whatever else, and that makes the brain go crazy. It really does. So, but I think you're doing remarkably well. And just you're coming every day, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be. Ralph, hey Ralph, how's it going? And how about you? With defects of character.
Mine actually is similar to Julie's, where I think mine is based in acceptance. So if I'm in a social gathering, I need the acceptance, which leads to staying at a place, having more drinks, and it's just a perpetual thing. And that's what it is for me.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I wish I had a little more of that. I have the opposite, you know. Okay, I want you to like me, so I'm gonna blow your house up. Okay, how do you like me now? Like what? That's defective thinking. I mean, not really. I never blew anybody's house up. Hey, Juan, how about you? Then California.
I thought we were,
yeah.
yeah, I thought we were raising our hand if we like this.
Oh yeah, we're doing that too. And did we talk about your defective thinking already?
Yeah, procrastination.
Okay, man. Perfect. All right, I think excellent. So Cassie, I think that hey Cassie, you want to read? Or is that too much pressure? Maybe.
I can read. You want me to read the promises?
Yeah, that'd be great. Huh?
Hold on.
I'm not trying to get. I'm
Let's drop them on
I'm
the
not
floor.
trying to give you too hard of a time.
I'm fine now. I didn't have to do
I
tough
just
time.
want you
You
to
got me
feel.
out of tough time.
I want you to feel welcome.
I do.
Right.
All right. Okay, everybody. Here are the promises on page 84. Yeah, 83. Okay. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them.
All right, perfect. And then here comes the serenity prayer. It goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So this meeting is officially over. Like I said earlier, if you're new, come for 5 days, see how you like it. If anybody has any questions, you can questions about this meeting, Alcoholics Anonymous, or we did today, just go right ahead. You can unmute and ask. Well, Julie, it's really good to see you back here.